Okay, so as I was saying, this is the dashboard where
No.
you get to see some basic statistics about the school, like total students, total class, enrollment, and so on. Yeah.
No.
Now, the next tab is what we call the attendance. This is where you take the attendance.
No.
You can see, so for each teacher, they will have access to the system where each morning they take attendance of the students.
Okay. Okay.
Those who
Okay.
come to school and those who are not in school. So basically,
No.
this would it means that they will get rid of the paper system, where
Um.
use a, they use paper and pen and take attendance. Okay. So for instance, you click on new attendance. So based on your class, you only see your
Okay. You select.
yeah. So if you are
Um.
teaching basic one, for instance, you only see basic one. If you are teaching basic two, you won't see the rest. Okay, so
Okay.
in that way, it will even confuse you because you only see your class. You will not mistakenly,
Um.
select a different class. Yeah.
So is it that the system is going to do that for you?
Pardon? Yeah, the system.
Is the system going to do? Okay.
Yeah. So based on your role, if you say we said you are set as a teacher for class one, the system
Okay.
automatically would prevent you from seeing things that are happening in class two and so on. Yeah.
Um.
One is a security feature. Two is also for your own benefit. At the end of the day, you will not mistakenly go and do something in a different
Mm,
class. Yeah. So as
okay. Okay.
so attendance, you select the class, you create the attendance. So when you create the attendance, it will take you to this page where you see all your students, all the students in the class. So this one for demo, I only added two students. So look at the name of the first student, Elijah
Mm,
something, and the second one is here, Cameron Visa. You see their status. So if the person is absent, you select absent.
mm,
By default, is present. Okay.
mm,
So when a person is absent or excuse probably the person is sick or something. Yeah. So
okay.
then you can
Okay.
say absent or present. So let me make this one absent. So I've made one present and the second one absent. Then you click on
Mm,
save attendance.
okay.
Yeah. So automatically it will record. So for that's the today's date, August 26, 2025, class
Mm,
2A. This term,
mm,
look at the term. The term is a third term.
mm,
And when you look at present, one person is present, the second one is
mm.
absent.
Absent.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
So one present, one absent. In terms of rate, it means 50%. 50%,
Mm,
yeah. Okay. So you can click on this small icon and then view the attendance. So basically, you get to see if, let's say you have 20 students,
mm,
you get to see the list of them, those who are
okay.
present and those who are absent. You get to see it here. And you see
Okay.
some small statistics here. There are total of two students. One is
Mm,
present, one is absent.
mm,
So you see the details about the school here.
okay.
Date, class, term, academic year, and so on. You can also view the report. It's basically like this, in a different format. Okay. Okay, so there are so many things you can do. So let me go back to the attendance. Okay, I'm moving there. Over there, you see attendance summary. You can click on the
Mm,
summary. This one will download it as what was the name? As an Excel sheet.
okay.
So maybe if you want to use it, you want to see the attendance. So it has downloaded. Let me look at it. So there is the
Mm,
so you get to see the sheet, the name of the student, and today. So today
mm,
and the present is one.
okay.
One is okay. So basically, you can download it if you want to use it for something else. Okay, so let's
Okay.
let's move on to the second area. This is academic management. So here
Mm,
we have the students area where you register students. Okay, so the students
mm,
can be registered either individually or in group. Let's say it's a new school, for instance, and they are adopting the system. For new
Okay.
school, for each student, they can, when a student comes, when a parent brings their student for registration, they can just click on the new students. You see the new students tab here. You see the,
Mm,
so you just click on new students. Okay. So that it will bring you to this page where you fill in the details. Let me automatically fill it. You see the first name, last
mm,
name, other names, then date of birth, gender, email, phone number, and so on. If you have the picture of the student, you can also upload it here.
okay.
Let me pick a picture of someone. In fact, you can edit it. Maybe it's too big, you can edit it.
Mm,
Okay, you can crop it, uh, crop the way you want. Okay, so that you can now save it. So you get the picture exactly how you want. Let's say it's a picture of somebody who is like a whole body. You can just cut the head. Okay, so we can go to next. So on the next, you select the class you are enrolling the student in. Let's say
okay.
basic 1A. Then admission date is set for today. You can go to next. Here you either fill in the, if it's a new child, either fill in
Mm,
the parents' details here, or if
okay.
for some reason the child is a second child of a parent. Let's say you've created one child with a parent before, and the parent
Okay.
has say two children. So the second time, the
Mm,
second child that you are creating, you don't need to come and create the parent again. You just select existing parents.
okay.
You
Okay.
can just assign, meaning that
Mm,
one parent can have many children, basically.
yeah. 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 Yeah.
So here you set whether it's the primary guardian, whether he can pick the child. So basically,
Mm,
that is if he can come and pick the child from
mm,
in the school. You also have the relationship here, whether it's a mother, father, uncle.
mm,
So you go to next. You have here whether it should generate a fees automatically for you, or you want to later assign a fee to them. You can do that. Then you
mm,
save. Okay. So I've just created a student. This is a student. The student is
mm,
enrolled in a basic 1A, the current class, basic 1A. Here you get to see the guardian of the child. You see the enrollment here.
mm,
So for each term, the student will be enrolled in a new term. Each term they will be enrolled. So this is the current term here, third term. So
mm,
next term he will be enrolled. So that under this enrollment, you see all the enrollment that the child go through, like I see history of all the enrollment. Bills will be here. All the bills the child will pay, it will be shown here.
mm.
Okay. So as the
Okay.
child enroll, maybe he pay first term bill, it will appear here. Second term
Mm,
bill, all
okay.
would appear here. All the payment the
Okay.
child make or the parents make on behalf of the
Okay.
child will be here. Okay.
Mm,
And we have the promotion area where all the promotion, let's say the person was promoted from class 1 to class 2, class 2 to class 3, all will be here.
okay.
Then graduations. Let's say the school is
Okay.
having preschool and primary and GSS. So when the person graduates from preschool, the person is coming to primary school, right? So the person will come to class 1. When the person graduates from class 6, the person will go to GS. So you also see the list of all the graduation. Okay. And here, if the child has taken some position in class or in the school, it can be recorded here. Position. So you can record all the position of the child here. Let's say he was a school captain or he was class prefect, from which date to which date. Okay, you can set this. So
Mm,
basically this will help in the future, even 10 years time, the system, the data is there. You can just come and look at it and see about it.
mm,
Yeah. So okay. So that is it for adding a student in the system. You also have another option. You see the option here, import students. So this one is for, let's say, an existing school. Hello, are you there? So this is for what you call it. bulk imports. Let's say you have many, you are an existing school and you want to import all the information, all the students, your existing students into the platform. So you go here, there is this template you download, which gives you, I mean, all the information that is needed to be able to import your students onto the platform. So here you see, as you can see, there is name, first name, last name, date of birth, gender. Okay, so you just fill in this form for all your students. You just fill this form. So when you are done, you come here, upload. You go to where you've saved the file. You can just upload it. Okay, so it's uploaded. So it's done. Then you submit. Okay. So automatically it would import all the students onto the platform. Okay. So, yeah. Okay, so you can now we have the classrooms here where you set up all the classes. If your school have from class 1 to class 6, this is where you create all the class, new class. You put in the level and the name and so on. You have promotion where students will be promoted from one class to the other. You have the bulk promotion where you can just select, you are promoting them from kindergarten A to say basic 1. You select all the students, then you promote them. You have graduation. With graduation, also we have the bulk one where you graduate students from one department to another. Let's say department will be preschool, which is kindergarten. So you graduate them from kindergarten to class 1, for instance, or they'll graduate them from class 6 going to junior high school. So the graduation is done on what you call it, what's the name? Department, from one department to another. So from the preschool department to basic department, from primary department to junior high school, from junior high school to senior high school. Yeah. So you have subjects here. This is where you add all the subjects. So let's say, for instance, new subject, put in the short code, type of setup, whether it's elective or core. You have the class that the subject is being taught in. Okay, you can describe the classroom, the subject. Okay, so this is basically where you set up all your subjects in the school. You have the program area. Usually, program is for senior high school, where you can select whether it's a general arts or visual arts. So this is purposely for the senior high school. So that's the program area. So we have the levels. Basically, the level is, as you can see, kindergarten, basic 1, basic 2. So level on, so we have level and we have classroom. So in one level, you can have many classroom. Let's say level 1, as in basic 1, you can have class 1A, class 1B, but all of them, they are at the same level as in basic 1. So you see, so that's how you have the level and you have class. So you can set up all the levels here in your school. Just click on new level, then you fill in the form and you create the level. Okay, so the next one is we have department. Okay, so this is where you set up all the departments. Maybe you have the preschool department, you have the primary department. You may have, probably your school have junior high school department where you just write a junior high school abbreviation and the code. If you have senior high school, you also add senior high school. Okay, we have the term. This is where you set up all the terms in the school. So here you set term 1, term 2, and term 3, and so each term you create another term, then you continue. Okay, so the assessment, that's another important area where the teachers can assess the student after each text. So let's say you have an exercise. So basically, a teacher would select their class, let's say basic 2. Then if then all the subjects of the class would pop up here. So let's say it's science. Let's select science. Then you create. So when you create the science, where is the science? That is it here. Click on the science. So under assessment, you see the assessment, you create new assessment. So basically in the GES system, we have what you call assessment and exams. So under assessment, we have three categories, whether it's an individual assessment, group assessment, or test, class test. Okay, so if it's individual assessment, you select individual. Let's say you are giving them an exercise, so exercise 1 for individual. So maybe it's 10 marks. You click on, you set the mark as 10. You create. So now this individual assessment has been created. Then you now score them. Okay, so when you create the assessment, then you score. Let's say this student got 10 over 10. This student got 8. Because you set it to 10, if you try to give it 11 or 12, it would reject. Okay, so we are creating the score. So I've just added the score. So when I go to SBA summary, to show me that this first student, Elijah, got 10 over 10, which is 100%. And we have the Cameron Riza got 8, which is 80%. Okay, so you can also see the result area here where you see the position. So you see the what you call the total assessment is 10. There's no exam score, and the total is 10. Okay, so in the same vein, when you have another additional exercise, you come here again, you select assessment, individual exercise, then exercise, maybe exercise 2, exercise 3. So as you take more exercise, you'll be writing that, you'll be creating and doing it. It could even be that you are doing a quiz. You can write maybe quiz. Then whatever score you got after you create it, then you give them the score based on what they got. So when you are done with what you call normal individual assessment, and you are giving them, for instance, a group assessment, you select group assessment. Okay, you write, maybe you give it a name. Let's say group work 1, for instance. So what's the total mark for that particular assessment you are giving them? Let's say it's 20 marks. Then you create. So when you create, you see it here, group assessment as the category. So here too, you can score them. So the first person got 18. Maybe this person got 20. Okay, so as I said, you can't go beyond. So if I try to give, for instance, 22, and I try to submit, it will give me error. You see, the score must not be greater than 20 because that's the total mark you set. So here, okay, so you save it. It has been saved. So when I go to summary, it automatically readjusts this. So you see now we have the group assessment. So all the students, their group assessment will be here. Their individual assessment will be here. If they have a class test, it will also come here. So when I go to the results area again, that will also be updated. So you can see now 28, 28. They also got 28. So first, all of them are, nobody's leading. So the same way you could have multiple group, what we call it, assessments. So all the group work that they do, the system will automatically combine them and strike average out of it. So let's say maybe another assessment is class test. So let's say you have a class test. You can just write it class test, maybe class test 1. That's if you have multiple class tests. You can say maybe it's over 15. So it's up to you whether the max value is. So you see this one too is a class test. Then you score them. So this student got say 14, and one got 13. So you save. All this activity, the SBA summary would also be updated with the class test. You can see this person got 14 over 15, representing 93%, 13 over 15, representing 86%. You can look at the results again. So the results now, Elijah is leading with 47, then Cameron is 45. Okay, so now this is first and this is second. And the grading is also done for you based on the score. It gives you the grading, whether it's proficiency, emerging, or developing. So these are the grading system for basic schools under GES. Yeah. Okay. So what else? So let's say if we finally take end of term exams. So over there till you come here, then instead of assessment, you select exams. Okay, then you select end of term exams. Maybe you write end of term exams. The score, maybe it's over 20. So it's up to you whether it's over 30, over 50, or even over 100. You just click. So you see now we have the end of term exams. When we take the exams, the score that comes in, you give them the score. So 20, for instance, 20, then say this student got 15. Okay, so you save. So now what the system does is that it will take 50%, 50% of the exams. Exams is 50%. Then the assessment is also 50, so 50-50. But then remember, if you recall, under assessment, you have different assessments. You have the individual one. The weight of the individual one is 10%. Weight of the group one is 20%. And weight of the class test is also 20%, making it 50. So this is also a setting that you can change. You can decide that your school, the assessment takes 30% and then the final exams takes 70%. You can adjust it as you please. So when I go to the results now, you realize that the exam score has now been updated. So here 47, all the assessment from individual to class test is what is updating the assessment. But then when they have the final exams, the end of term exams, this value also is activated. So the person got 50, but if you remember, he got 20 over 20. So the 20 representing 100%. So the person got all the 50%. This student got 39, a 38, for instance. So now the total score of this person is 97, and this one is 83. So this one is the first, and the first stand for highly proficient, based on the 97. Okay, they are both highly proficient, but 83 too is highly proficient. But in terms of position, the Elijah got higher score. Okay, so you can, so this is where we do the categorization, where you decide to give them different weight. You can say that individual assessment can be maybe 20 and group is 10 and class test is also 20 or so. This way you can change, and you can either edit it or even create a new one. So we have when you do this, a terminal report is generated. So when I go to terminal report, would I even remember the class? So Elijah, this is Elijah, one of the students. I can click on generate report, for instance. When I look at the report, the system automatically creates a terminal report for all the students. Your school information name will be here. Your school logo will appear here. The student image will be here. Now, student ID, student's name, class of the student, the term, number of students in the class. The next term will begin when. Okay, so you see the class score, the student got the exam score, the total score, the position of the student. So for all the subjects, they will all appear here. All the subjects the student takes, all of them will be listed here. Total attendance of the school, you know, we show the attendance area. So all the attendance as the student is being attends the school on a daily basis, the increment, this will be incrementing. Okay, so we have the conduct, attitude, and interest. Okay, so this is the terminal report that is generated for you automatically. Yours is to only insert the scores. Okay, when you are done inserting the score, some of all these things will be done for you, the positioning and so on. So you also have the remark area where you remark the students. So you can create, so for a particular class, you can create, I think the class we have was basic 2A, I remember. So you create a remark for them. So you can put the conduct here, attitude here, then interest here, okay, for each student. Okay, so you can do that for each of the students. For each of the students. Okay, so let me go back. Okay, so let's move on from assessment. Let's go to fees management. Okay, so under fees management, we have what we call the bills, where the bills could be generated for all the students. So for instance, when I click on generate bill, so each term or end of term, you can generate the, what you call it, the bills. Maybe you can generate for all based on department, maybe kindergarten. So it automatically generate the bill for all of the students. You can say primary, it automatically generate bill for the whole primary school from basic 1 to 6. So if you also want, maybe you can use the level. So you can generate for basic 1, basic 2, you can just select one of the class and generate their bill. Also, you can generate bill for just individuals. So here you can click on generate bill for student, for instance. You can select a student, you can search the student's name, Elijah. Okay, so Elijah, where's Elijah? Elijah is here. You just search the person's name. So it shows you a preview of the fees the student will be paying. So current fee, you have the itemized list. So you have the tuition fee, PTA, furniture. So we have an area where you set up all this and put in the amounts based on your how much you charge per term. Okay, so the total bill is 869, for instance. So when I submit, it will automatically create the bill. So a bill has been created. So you can view the bill, the detail page. So this is the detail. It gives you outstanding amounts the student needs to pay. The student hasn't paid anything out of the amounts. And these are the items: tuition fee, PTA, furniture, and so on. All the itemized that you normally charge, you put them under the bill. So you can also view it as a PDF. So this PDF could be printed. So you see your logo, school logo can come here. Okay, let me quickly add a logo of a school so that we see how it works. So I can go to the settings. Under school, here you see the school information. You select logo. Let me select one of our schools. Go here. Let me select this one. So this is one of the schools. So it's loaded. I can now save the changes. Okay. So after saving the changes, when I refresh the page, so as you can see, nice logo, your logo will appear there. And this could be printed to the parent. But mind you, we also have the parent portal where the parents can also even see the bill in real time. When you generate the bill, automatically they will get it on their platform. So this is the administration platform. But then the parent also have a platform where they get to see all the activity, including the bills, including payments they make, including students' terminal reports. They get to see all that. So you don't even need to print and send it to them. When they just log into the platform, they also get to see all those information about their child. Okay, so the bill, let's say the student or the parent comes to pay the bill. So you just click on action, you see apply payments. Okay, so apply payments. If the person can decide to pay in bits, let's say the person is paying 500 out of the money, select the mode of payments, whether cash or mobile money. So let's assume the person is paying cash. Then you submit. Now, as you can see, the status is partial and the balance is 369. The total bill was 869. The person paid 500. So it's now 300 and this. So you can view the bill now again. You realize that it now says partial. The status has changed to partial. And you see the outstanding balance here. Okay, you see the total amount here as well. Okay, so when later the person comes to clear the balance, you click on apply payment again. So automatically it will set the balance that the person will be paying here. If the person is not paying, or you can also edit it and put the value the person is paying. So also the person can pay mobile money or bank transfer. You just select and you submit. Okay, so now you see it said paid. It says the status is paid now. Okay, so meaning that the person has paid. Now, as an administrator or accountant, you can see all the payment that has been made on the platform. So here, for instance, you see the primary school fees. You see this is the amount that the person just paid, and the amount the person just paid is here. You see, it's a double entry kind of balance of payment system. So the fee revenue is here. The total revenue will be 896. But then it's breaking down. They pay some of them in cash. That is why you see the cash here. And some also paid in mobile money. So you see the mobile money here. So at the end of the day, everything should balance. The revenue and the cash, the asset should balance so that you know that things are going on well. So you have a way to even, so it also record all the transactions. So under payment, for instance, sorry, where is the, so fee, all the transaction that is done will also be recorded here. So the first time the person paid 500, you see the same name, Elijah paid 500, later he paid 396. You can view the receipts of the payment, which can be printed and given to the parent. And just to stress again, the parents, you may not even give them the receipts. They can view the receipts on the platform. They also have access to the system. They can go there and view the the receipt. Okay. So what else? So you can see on this fee dashboard, you see the total bill that were generated. We only generated one for one student. The total collected is one, so we collected all the money. So if the bills generated are maybe 10 and you collected only 3, it will show you here. And outstanding, those who are yet to pay, you get to see it here. And all the total payment, you see only one payment that was done. And you see recent payments. Okay. Okay, so let's move on. You also get to see, so this is where we set up all the fee types, for instance, where you create fee, class fee, tuition fee, furniture, feeding, all the revenue items that you have in your school, you just add them here. Okay, then you also set the rate for each of them under the fee rate. And the fee rate, you get to set, if it's examination fee, how much are you charging for primary school? How much are you charging for what we call it, basic 6, and so on? Because fee varies based on the class. Maybe class 1 may be paying less than maybe class 5, okay, and so on. So this is where you get to set. So it's very flexible. You get to set all the fees and all the itemized fee items that you charge, whether it's PTA, whether it's furniture, whether it's uh, any other lab, computer usage and all that. Just set them here. Okay, so under chart of account, this is where you can do so many other stuff. Where maybe you buy, you make some expenses. You can actually use the vendor bill to generate an expenses. You just select a vendor. If it's not there, you create one vendor. Then you fill in the form and the cost that is involved here. Then you create it. So when you do that, automatically it will reflect in your charts of accounts. Yeah, to reflect here so that you see all the costs that you are incurring in the school, and you also get to see all the revenues that are coming in. And mind you, the platform as you see it, not everybody will be seeing it like this. Maybe the administrator will see something, then teacher will not even see the finance area. The teacher will only be seeing, looking at the assessment where they can assess the students, and also maybe attendance area where they can record the attendance and so on. So they won't get to see the finance area. Maybe the accountant will get to see the finance area where it also help the person with his or her activities. Okay. So we have the human resource area where you can generate receipt for, pay slip for the teachers for their payments. So and when you do that, automatically it will record in your expenses as some of your expenses. So for instance, when you for August, you just click on create. Okay, so it will create, automatically create, and when you run process, so you are running it. When you process the payment, automatically all the payments, so as you can see, say generated 4 pay slip with a net amount of 700 and something. So that is the total amount of the bill that was generated. That is the net is this, the total amount is this. Okay, so when I go to the pay slip, for instance, I get to see all the pay slip that were generated. So for headmaster, pay slip for August 2025, you can view the preview of the pay slip where it shows you the name and a breakdown of all the categories. So you have the basic salary, you have the transport allowance. So all the allowance can be added here. If there are some deduction, you can also add them here. Deduction, loan, and so on. Then automatically to calculate the gross pay and also the net pay for you automatically. Okay, so this one could be printed and given to the headmaster. So for all the staff, it will generate their pay slip based on the information that you feed the system, because you have the staff earning area here where all the staff, headmaster and teachers, all of them, you set their basic salary, their allowance. So each term, when you just click on run, it automatically generates the pay slip for you. And even if you have what you call it, the VAT and SNIT, or it will create them automatically. So automatically set those. So any deduction that it should deduct from their salary, it would you set it here and it will deduct it. Okay. So these payments that this transaction we just do would appear on your account. You see, so you see the teacher's salary, the expenses is 7,600 and something. So that is total salary. So it become like an expenses on your book in your book. Okay. So at the end of the day, you get to know the school you are running, you get to see how profitable it is, how much is coming in terms of what we call it, in terms of the fees the students are paying, in terms of maybe if you are doing some extra classes, in terms of if you are providing some feeding fee, for instance, especially. So for feeding fee, as I just remember, you can come to the payments area where you click on say daily payment. So over there, you select the students. If the student is, let's say student is paying for feeding fee, if your class offer feeding fee, so you just select the student, it will set, to say the classes fee is this, feeding fee is this amount. If the person is paying for a particular day, if the person is paying for a custom day, meaning that the person is paying for maybe 3 days or so, you just select the days the student is paying. The person can pay for the whole week or the whole month or the whole term. Okay, and the system is smart enough to calculate the total number of days based on some factors, including holidays, including weekends. So it will subtract all the weekend from it and so on. So we just record. So instead of having a paper and be recording the payments when the student comes in, you just use the system to record it, and it will always be there forever. And you can always come and query it. Just search the student's name, maybe Elijah. So if Elijah is there, to just show you only for Elijah. Okay, so that is it for, and it can be any fee at all. It can be added. So you have the communication area where you can send bulk SMS to parents, maybe to remind them about an activity. Let's say you have a PTA meeting, you can draft a PTA message and select the entire school. If you want entire school, you can select here, maybe all students. You selecting all students means that the message goes to all their parents, because the number of their parents is what is stored in the system. Okay, so and you have an option to use a template. Okay, you have an option to use a template. So whether to use, if it's a PTA, for instance, you can select this one, PTA meeting. So as you can see, dear guardian name. So the guardian name is is what you call a variable, meaning that it will replace this guardian name with the actual name of the parent. Okay, so basically that's how it works. So here, school name means your school name, child name means the name of the child. So the guardian is here and the name of the child is here. Okay, so this is a customized name so that the parents would feel special, feel like you are targeting them. It's not like a generic SMS that you send. So let's, for instance, try and preview the message. So when I preview it, okay, so you see the preview, say dear Race Kyle. So it didn't say dear guardian, and say, so it would write the name of the parents. PTA meeting on Sunday, 27th July in the school. Your presence matters as a parent guardian of Yasmin Brat. So you see, yes, we didn't say child name. It's replaced the variable with the real name of the child and the class of the child. Confirm attendance, then Oasis Schools Complex. So here too, it will replace the school name with your school name. Okay, so here it gives you the total number of parents the message will be sent to. Okay, so you can send it as an SMS. You can also send it as an internal message. Internal message means that they will receive it in the app. As I said, the parent can also access the app. So they can go there and see the message you are sending. Okay, so we have, so the template that we have here, template of field type and so on, can be set here. So you can create a generic a template that you use to send a particular message to the parents. Okay, so what else? We have the timetable area where you create all the timetable, the holidays, the timetable, the exam timetable, and so on. We have the sick bay. If your school have a hospital facilities, this one will help keep track of all the, I mean all the to track the workings of the students into the clinic or sick bay and all the sickness that they are reporting. It can be recorded for future what you call it examination. Okay, so let's move on to another feature. So after sick bay, we have the exit. If you are okay, you have the housing management where if you have a boarding school here, you can use this one to what we call it um I mean assign rooms or hostels to the students. So as you can see, we have the housing room, the block. So maybe we have the housing, they have different blocks. Maybe one block would be for female, one block could be for male. So if you assign a particular block as a male block, you can't assign a student in that particular block. When you try to assign a student in a room in that block, it will reject. So you have what you call the gender, what you call it, restriction. This one, gender restriction, where you set whether it's for male or female or mixed. So it means that whether the block or that particular dormitory is for both female or only for male or only for female. You can set that and automatically the system will prevent. So it will prevent you from mistakenly assigning a girl to a boy's room. Okay, so all of that is done here. Here too, the housing bill is here where you generate all the bills for students for the boarding facilities. Okay, what else? Now so the exit system is also here where exit could be created when the child may be sick or the parent requests for a child to come home for maybe an interview or something in the, I mean, or some emergency, and the child needs to go home. The parents portal, they have access to the exit too. The parent can generate an exit for on behalf of the child. Okay, and also maybe the health, what you call it, health or either the consultant or the nurse or I mean, the doctor can also create an exit, maybe an emergency situation, create an exit for the students so that the students either go home or go to refer to a different hospital. So exit, you select the name of the students, the reason for the exit, then we create the exit. So when the person is going out, he can show the exits at the door, I mean the gate for the security to allow the child out. When a child is also coming back, can bring back the exit. Okay. So we talked about the housing, the exit. We have the student safety. Now this is another one for usually day students, where we have the pickup authorization and movement. It's basically an app. It's a mobile version app where parents can, whenever a parent comes to pick his child, the system records. It would check the student in. I mean, when the students are dropped off at the school, the system would check them in, as in basically clock in. And when they are being picked up, maybe the parent has come to pick up the child, the system will also check the child out. So instead of having a log of clock in and clock out, this system would help keep track of when the child are being picked and when the child are being dropped into the school. And also it has a feature where the parents can generate a QR code and send it to a friend or a brother or a colleague to come and pick the child on their behalf. So it serves like an authorization note, giving somebody permission to come and pick your child. So it's also there on the app. And another important thing is that when a check-in is done, the parents, a message, an alert is sent to the parents to show that your child has been picked. So assuming the parent is not the one who comes to pick the child, so this one will become very important where the parent will receive an alert. So the person will feel at peace that the child has been picked or the child has been dropped. Okay, so you have that also the ID management area where you can generate ID for each student. Okay, you have so for each student you can automatically generate IDs card for them. Okay, so it can be used for it even can be used for the check-in I was just talking about. So if the check-in, you have aspects where the camera can give you access to scan to scan on the what we call it on the card, the QR code on the card. So this is a settings area where based on the color of your school, your color combination, your brand color, we can change it to suit your class. So for instance, if your class is purple, you can select purple for you, sort of the blue. So based on your color, it can be done here. Okay, we can add background image to make it look even nicer. When you are done, you just save it. Okay, so when I go back to this student and I will refresh the page, you see automatically it has changed to purple. So here the student picture will be here. So this can be printed as on a PVC cap or even this one can just be even downloaded and sent to the parent. So maybe in the morning when the person is coming, you can bring the QR code, I mean the ID card, either physical or even on the phone, can scan it. Or even you can also, the student's number, this number is very important. You can also use it to check the person in. Okay, so that is it for this one. We also have the certificate area where you can design a beautiful certificate for your school. Maybe the graduates, maybe those who will be graduating. You can have a very nice certificate generated for them. Where is the certificate? Okay, so let me view it here. Let me go to the graduation, academic graduation. So graduation, for instance, is there any graduates? Yeah. So for instance, I can view the current one here. Okay, it's loading. So you see a certificate here. So now this certificate, we have different versions and different colors. You can set just like the way you can set the ID card, the graduation too. You have the this thing where you can select whether you want classic one. Okay, so you see them here. Whether you want a modern one, you want a landscape or any one that you want, you just select it. Yeah, you also have you can set color combination that you want. Maybe your color is purple, select purple, automatically will reflect. As you can see, it's reflecting here. You can change some texting on it. Maybe instead of graduation certificate, maybe you write something different, maybe certificate or certificate of graduation. Whatever, you can change it here. So we have the image area where you can put in a watermark of your probably your what we call it, your school logo. So let me for instance put this watermark here. It would add a watermark. You see nicely done watermark on the this thing, ID card. I can save it for instance, and I'll go back here and finally refresh the page. Okay, so you see nicely, a very nice what you call certificate. So you can customize it, print it, I mean change the color. Then either if you have a printer, you print it in the school. If you don't have, can send it to a print shop for them to print it for you. Also, let's move on. We have the user management where roles and permission will be created to individual users. So teachers, admin, accountants, officers, all the officers' accounts can be created for them and set some roles and permissions for them. And there are so many other features that we can't cover now. Thank you very much. And if you have any question, you can ask. Okay. So if you don't have any question, that is all for now. Thank you very much for watching.